Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Mr. Lincoln. I'm sorry I haven't been on and haven't been uploading. If you've started watching the channel, I started with a Cloverfield Paradox review. I said there's going to be another Cloverfield video, and there will be. I'm going to record it, get that done, as well as a Shameless Season 8 review video. And there's a few other ones, but I wanted to do one very specific today, and this is more of a discussion rant video. So this one's going to be a little bit different. I'm not really going to rant in the sense of like get crazy and like throw shit around my room or yell at the camera for any stupid reason, but it's more of a I'm upset, so we gotta talk kind of video. So this is the first ever topical discussion video, and it definitely won't be the last. This is kind of be the bread and butter of the channel. This is going to be the majority of the channel and how it kind of goes. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about DC and Warner Brothers and their film universe. So if you guys are at all, up to date with anything that's been going on, there has been nothing but trouble with DC films. Nothing but trouble. I had to mention quite a few things, but I'm going to start off by talking about Flashpoint. So this is a new movie coming up. It's going to be the first Flash solo film. And I have some thoughts on it. But they just today, which is the beginning of March, I don't remember the exact date of when I'm recording this, but when I'm recording, as of the time that I'm recording this, they just announced the two new directors for Flashpoint, and I kind of wanted to talk about this because this particular movie and the ideas behind it had me feeling continually more upset about everything that's been happening. So let's start off by talking about particularly the movie and what this movie could or could not be. So if the movie follows the format of Flashpoint, Flashpoint was a story that rebooted the entirety of the DC Comics line and kind of started everything over so they could do the New 52. Now, I was a little concerned hearing that the first ever Flash movie would be a Flashpoint movie. And it's right after we've only had one Justice League film. We've had okay, so far we've had Superman, Man of Steel. We've had Batman vs. Superman, and then Wonder Woman, or no, sorry, Suicide Squad, then Wonder Woman, and then Justice League, and we're about to have Aquaman, and then I believe Shazam, and at some point after that, we're supposed to be getting Flashpoint, I think was how it goes. That or the Green Lantern Corps movie could be coming out before that. I'm not even sure at the moment. Plus, there's been an announcement for like a bunch of weird spin-offs and other movies. That all aside, we've barely even scratched the surface of starting this universe, and we're already getting a story that would potentially reboot or rewrite most of everything that's happened. Sure, maybe I get this if it was like the third, or like the end of the Flash trilogy, and then or it was the end of the like Justice League kind of trilogy, and they wanted to completely recast a bunch of people and start things over and add in different characters and do new things to kind of keep moviegoers fresh and into whatever's going on. But if they were sticking with the Flashpoint comic book story, that's not the case, they'd be restarting when we've barely even we haven't had a Batman movie. Can I just say that we haven't had a Batman movie in this universe yet? Batman versus Superman was the closest thing to a Batman movie, and that really wasn't a Batman movie. It was a Trinity movie. So it was Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, and it was this story revolving those three characters. So we haven't had a Batman movie. One of the core characters we still haven't had an effing movie for. And we're about to get a restart of this entire universe before that movie even comes out. What the hell is going on? Why? Going back in time a little bit to before Batman vs. Superman came out, and there was only Man of Steel. Now, I know there are some people that didn't like Man of Steel. I am not one of those people. I absolutely loved that movie. I thought it was an awesome way of bringing, like, Superman into the modern era, and I thought it was a great film. But that's, everybody has their opinions. I thought that movie was a great film. And then they had Green Lantern, which I think originally was going to maybe be a part of the same universe, but that movie flopped because of several reasons. But then we just kind of just brushed that aside, and then we go into Batman vs. Superman. Now, when this was first announced, I was very, very upset. Now, something that you guys don't know yet, but you will come to know on the channel, is I am a huge, huge DC Comics fan. I'm a huge fan of Batman. I love that character. I love the universe, his isolated universe of characters. And I love, I grew up watching Justice League Unlimited, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, and then, other cartoons as well from like the 1990s Spider-Man and X-Men and a couple other ones. But, the majority of it was, I absolutely loved watching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I remember always watching those as a kid, and those were some of my absolute favorite characters, and I've been dying ever since they basically Marvel announced that they were doing basically leading up to an Avengers movie. I was like, oh my god, we need a Justice League movie. We need the DC characters back and blah blah blah. And I actually thought that maybe the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan would be kind of like, maybe they would use that as kind of a starting point, but that didn't happen. But then they released Superman, and that was awesome as hell. And then they kind of basically said that's what they were going to start moving towards the Justice League movie. And I was like, hell yes! I was super excited. But troubles arised when they were talking about Batman vs. Superman. Not only was I confused why there was going to be a Superman sequel right away, but then they changed it to Batman vs. Superman, and then they started talking about all of these characters being introduced in this movie, and I'm like, what? Why? Why is this happening? And then they said they were doing a Suicide Squad movie, and it was coming soon, and then I was like, I didn't even know who the hell Suicide Squad was at the time. I'm like, why do I care about those characters? Where's my Batman movie? Where's my Wonder Woman movie? Where's my Green Lantern movie? Where is my Aquaman movie? My Flash movie? My Cyborg? I guess Cyborg is a more newer character. I would have been more gravitated more towards like Hawkgirl or like I said already, Green Lantern. because of, you know, I'm kind of a traditionalist, I guess, if you want to say, because of the cartoons. But you know, where are all those movies? Why aren't they being announced? Where the hell is this going? Why are they doing everything completely weird and out of order? And why are they trying to rush into Justice League immediately? Sure, yeah, cool. You want to get Justice League out there? I was all for that. But the problem was, they put out Batman vs. Superman, and the movie had a lot of problems. Now, personally, I am a fan of the movie. I definitely think the Ultimate Edition, or the Ultimate Cut, or whatever, the 3-hour cut, was a way better version of that movie, but there were still some big problems, and I understand why other people hate it. Personally, I didn't, but that's here nor there. And then they had Suicide Squad, which I actually kind of liked. Suicide Squad. I actually really liked Suicide Squad, if I'm being honest. I liked everybody's kind of adaptations of the characters, but I absolutely hated the basic fact that they had literally like the stupidest villain they could. There was no direction for the villain, and that's the one thing that absolutely pisses me off about that movie, is that there was no real good villain, and DC is known for having kick-ass fucking villains. And it sucked that the one goddamn movie that was all about villains had the main antagonist of that damn movie was absent from the movie. It was just a walking chew toy that they defeated in less than 2 minutes. It was stupid. And Enchantress was here nor there, meh. But you know, I liked all the rest of the characters. I liked how, I know a lot of people don't like it because it strays from the comics and it strays from what the character is, but I liked Will Smith's Deadshot. I think he gave something different to that character, and I thought it was actually something cool to that character. It gave it a little bit more charisma, because to me, Deadshot is, should I say, dollar store version of Deathstroke, with slightly different, yeah, hate me if you want to, but he's a good villain character, but he's not that important. And I've never really been like, oh yeah, that's a cool villain. I've been like, oh yeah, that's a villain. And I thought that Will Smith, getting that out of the way, we're not talking about that. We'll have a whole goddamn video for all that. But particularly, we're talking about what they were doing. They had Suicide Squad that came out, and then I was like, yes, things are turning around, because Wonder Woman dropped, and it was like the absolute fucking most badass movie ever. It kicked ass. It was so good. I can't remember her damn name, the director. She did such an amazing job with the character and with the film and with the... It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. Dug it. It was great. And I was like, yes, 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 this is what I wanted, this is what I want more of, give it to me now. And then we get to Justice League, and Justice League puts together the team in a very kind of DCEU only kind of way. And I personally love the movie, but there were some mistakes that were made. Steppenwolf could have been a better villain. I feel like he served his purpose. He wasn't a great villain. He was okay. I feel like they could have had a stronger villain, or have him as a stronger villain. Maybe have him do more, but they also made the movie 2 hours instead of like 2.5 or 2:45. And they could have really, really, really benefited from another 30 minutes or another 45 minutes and developed out the villain a lot more and did something about, if you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, with Mr. Superman. But that aside, I still think the movie was pretty great. There was some issues, and there's no excuses for those issues at all at this point, especially not at this point. This was supposed to be the Avengers of the DC universe, and it just did not hit the way it should have. It did not, and it's disappointing, and it makes me very angry as a fan. Very, very angry. And god damn it, Warner Brothers, we have a fucking problem. That's where I'm gonna. That's my bottom line. We have a goddamn problem. If Justice League could not hit the same way or more as the Avengers, we have a problem. Because the Justice League is arguably more recognizable than the Avengers. Not a lot that I can say, but let's just kind of focus things down. We have a problem. We're at a problem with this right now, and I can understand maybe why they want to change some things. So let's particularly talk about the director problem. So I said Flashpoint has a new director, but here's something different that has happened lately. So not long ago, Joss Whedon, who was kind of doing the reshoots for Justice League and was going to do the Batgirl film, which could have been really cool. Even though I'll get into that in the secondary characters films or spin-offs. I'll get into all that stuff in a minute, but I have a particular problem with the fact that Joss Whedon was taken off of this film or quit from the film. I feel like there's some shady shit happening over at Warner Brothers, and I feel like they got him on to do Batgirl for him to basically just kind of be like, hey, we need your magic touch since you did the Avengers and you did it so well, so we're going to put you on Justice League because we're afraid this is going to do something. Not even get into it. Let's not get into it. Okay, so there's some shady shit happening with Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers cut it out right now. You need to be more transparent. That is one of the biggest problems right now. Is you need more transparency. I can't stress that enough. You need to be more transparent and open with the public about what you're actually doing. Don't coax special people to get in to do your movies, unless you're actually going to have them do the movies. Now, look, I could be wrong. Maybe Joss really just didn't have anything. He just couldn't really. He didn't feel like he could do the film justice or whatever. So he just like, I just think I'd rather leave this for somebody else. Maybe that's how it actually happened, but I doubt it. He hasn't said anything about that yet. At least not that I know of. So we'll let that go for a minute. But this is the. And we also have the Zack Snyder thing. You know, they haven't said a damn word about whether or not Zack is going to be coming back to do any more movies either. I have a feeling he may have been fired. I don't know, that could be wrong, but we'll let it go. We will let it go, and we'll come back to it if it needs to be addressed in the future. But anyway, that's the director's problem. So there's plenty of drama happening with Warner Brothers and their DC films. My other thing is I wanted to touch on two things here quick. First, I want to talk a little bit about spin-offs, why my thoughts about spin-offs at the moment, and then we're going to talk about Batman a little bit more in depth. And then we'll kind of talk about some of my ideas for how things need to change moving forward. So, spin-offs. Stop right now. Stop. stop. That all I need to say is stop. There is zero reason that we are getting spin-offs. Zero. Nightwing, don't get me wrong, great character. Batgirl, great character. Gotham City Sirens, awesome. Suicide Squad is already an established thing, but chill. The fact that you're making a Joker origin movie that has absolutely nothing to do with your current film universe, but you still want to do it anyway, and there's also no source material other than the Killing Joke to go off of, you're idiots. You're idiots. Complete, total idiots for doing that. There's zero reason that should be greenlit. You know why? You want to know why? Because we can't even get a goddamn Batman film. A Batman film. For God's sakes, we had 3 major, high fucking selling, pardon my goddamn language, movies with Batman, and you can't even give us another Batman movie? You're like, yeah, we got a director for it, and we kind of got a villain that we kind of showed off a little bit, but here's the thing, that movie doesn't even seem like it's going to be coming in the next 10 years. The director who's going to be doing it is an awesome director, do not get me wrong. But he just now finished his latest film, and they haven't even moved this into pre-production. This is your bread and butter character. You have Superman, you have Batman, and you have Wonder Woman. You get those 3 character films out, I don't care if you don't have any of the rest of the Justice League members have individual films, but they need films. There's zero reason they shouldn't all have films right now. Only 2 of those characters do. Batman doesn't, and Batman is slightly established through Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. And guess what? The actor who is playing that is no longer going to be playing the damn character. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Okay. Why? It does not make sense. There's zero reason Batman should be out. We should have a Batman movie, we should have a Superman movie, and we should have a Wonder Woman movie. And we should be considering sequels for those movies by now. We should have the rest of the Justice League getting films, even if I can't stress enough how ridiculous the idea of all these announced spin-off movies are when we can't even get Batman. You know, people barely knew who Iron Man was before Iron Man became the first major film of the MCU. Most people in most households know who Batman is. We have an Iron Man trilogy. We still don't have a goddamn Batman movie for this film universe. It's a simple problem. There's zero reason it hasn't been fixed. And this is why I am completely scared that this film universe is just going to crash and burn. And I don't even think anybody... Aquaman, I have a really good feeling that this movie could really kick ass, just like Wonder Woman did. And Black Manta could be like one of the most badass villains that we have ever. In like... just could be really sick, just badass. And this movie could be really good. And I highly doubt that many people are going to show up to go see it. Because they're like, oh, it's one of those DC films. Man, most of them have kind of been so I don't know if I want to go see it. That should not be the case. It just shouldn't be the case. We should have it should have been Man of Steel, and then we should have had Wonder Woman, and then we should have had Batman, and then after that, sure, screw it, Justice League, and then after that, do something like Suicide Squad. And then after that, you get the other characters of the Justice League out. and then you do a second Justice League movie, and we would be competing with Marvel movies right now. They would be competing with Marvel movies. They'd be like, hey, here's my middle finger, Marvel. Check it out. We got the Justice League on film, dude. It would be that simple. It's that simple. But they're turning it into a shit show because they're like, yeah, let's do, I don't know, a Superman movie. Yeah, and then a Green Lantern movie. Oh, wait, no, that sucked. Let's go do, I don't know, just do Batman and Superman fighting each other with a really crappy villain. A really crappy villain, okay? It's going to be the name of a really cool villain, but we're going to make sure he kind of acts like another villain from our iconic universe, and then not have any good substance to it. And then cut out a bunch of important parts, because why not? And then we're gonna do Suicide Squad, a team of freaking villains that half of everybody doesn't know until we show them this movie. And then we're gonna do Justice League, because why not? The thought process behind all of that, immediately I had reservations, and I was like, this is bad, this is gonna be disastrous. But what happened? Exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I'm super glad that Man of Steel and Wonder Woman, those two movies exist, because they are the absolute best movies of this universe so far. And I'm going to enjoy just keep continually watching those. And I'm probably going to continue to enjoy Justice League a little bit, and Batman vs. Superman a bit, and Suicide Squad a bit, but I'm always going to be like, God damn it, they screwed this up. I will always go, God damn it, they screwed this up. And it's going to suck. Even if they somehow pull things off, I'm still going to look back at this time and be like, damn, they really screwed up back then, didn't they? It sucks. It sucks. And they got new people. They're trying to, like, fix things, and they're still, so far, it still looks like they're being shady, and they're being completely untransparent. It just sucks. It just sucks that this is happening. Here's some quick thoughts. First of all, don't give us a Batman movie. Give us a damn Batman movie. Give us a Man of Steel sequel. Give us a Wonder Woman sequel. Aquaman, Shazam, Flash. Change Flashpoint. We don't need Flashpoint right now. Flashpoint should be a Justice League goddamn movie anyway. It shouldn't be a solo Flash film. I forgot to mention that earlier. Because it's all the Justice League characters in there. If you want to do that story right, you do it the way it's meant to be. And you do it as like the third or like the fourth Justice League, third or fourth Justice League film. You also... We need the rest of the character. We need the base character movies. Hold off on your goddamn spinoffs. Cancel the Joker movie. There's zero reason that should be even a thing. And just get somebody who goes, hey, this is how Marvel did it. If they did it successfully, maybe we should take some cues to try and make sure that from here on out, we are more successful with our films. Let's do all these characters. Let's get them out. And then let's do a Justice League sequel. I like the fact that they teased the Legion of Doom. Justice League versus Legion of Doom as Justice League 2 would be the most badass movie ever if they do it right. But you have to do it right. You have to get all these character films out. These individual character films are what's important. Because if you don't have these individual characters that people individually went to go see their movie and now care about those characters, You are not going to have anybody interested in your team-up film. That's the plain and simple logic of it. No one's going to care about the Justice League if the individual Justice League members don't have their own stories. You can't just add little bits of stories from these characters into a team-up film that's super short because you had to be jackasses. That's the other thing. Stop meddling with people's goddamn films. If they're gonna do the film, let them do the damn film. You know what? It worked when you did it for Wonder Woman. Guess what? That movie turned out awesome. Okay? That movie is killer. And it worked. Why the hell don't you pay attention and do that more often? Thank you, Warner Brothers. I'm done with this video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I got that Cloverfield theory video coming up. We're going to be talking about Cloverfield 4 and the Cloverfield series. I'm going to defend Paradox a bit because people are being really dumbasses about it. And I want to go into that. And I will be talking more about DC on this channel. DC Warner Brothers videos. I'm going to be reviewing Aquaman this year when it comes out on the channel. Might even do some reviews for some of the older videos, some of the older movies, I should say. And we're obviously going to be talking about the DC CW verse too, or the Arrowverse as we like to call it. I am a fan of that. And there's plenty of issues over there too that we could talk about, and there's plenty of great things over there too that I'd like to talk about. But all of that aside, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned because I will be coming back for more videos. I hope you guys enjoyed.